Welcome back, Vesselers. I have an update for you today. Um, I'm calling this lesson 15A. It is a interstitial lesson because the basic scenario setup block here, this has been redesigned. It functions differently than before. Before it used to semi-interface with the ROR database. It now interfaces with the ASL archive interface. I believe he is still working on it, but the majority of the functionality is there. So I'm going to show you that functionality instead of the previous version in the previous lesson 15. So ignore that section of it and refer to this section. And I should mention all of the examples that I'm showing for this VASL template program may change in the future or slightly change. So just use these as a guideline on how to use a program. If something changes, just jump right into it and start using it, and you'll figure it out once you have the basics of what I show you here. So let's jump into the VASL templates here. Let me get rid of the graphic there. I think I was working with the art of dying scenario to show you basic scenario setup. I think that I have that open here. Yep, there it is. So here's kind of what we were working with before on just the scenario setup, not adding vehicle info, just scenario info. Um, so let's jump back to VASL templates. So you can see if you watched lesson 15, this looks a little bit different now. Um, but the main functionality that has changed is when you do a search, excuse me, when you do a search here, it'll pop open a search window, and this will connect to aslscenarioarchive.com to their database. So let's type in the art of dying. It's a little slow because it's going out to their database over the internet, obviously, and grabbing or searching their database for the title you type in. It's a little slow, but it will pop up. Now, the functionality here, this is what it retrieves for you. So it retrieves information from the ASL scenario database. If there is more than one scenario here with these keywords in it, I typed the whole thing in. But if you would have typed, say, the art or art, you might have had a few scenarios here, and you can pick between them. In our case, it's just the one scenario. Over on the left, it shows you the title, location, date, and where it came from. In this case, journal number 9. And on the right, it shows you even more detailed information. The designer, if it has it, a description, defender, attacker, and the units involved, at least the highest level units. If there's a bunch of different organizations, it may not list all of them. The balance, and I think this is the ASL scenario archive balance, not the ROR. Oh, it shows both. Okay. The top one is the ROR. They're not labeled, but there's a hover. The top bar is the ROR balance. The bottom one is the ASL scenario archive balance. And then here you've got the boards that are used, any overlays, and then any special rules that may be listed in the database for this scenario. And on the upper right here is the location, and then it's in the European theater, 7 turns, 6.5 hours. I don't really know how they arrive at 6.5, the time involved, because when we play, we're not even close to the times that are estimated for the scenarios to take place. So take that with a grain of salt. Now the functionality here that doesn't work, it used to work a week or two ago for me, but if you click on these little map icons, it used to open. I'm not going to do it because it doesn't work, and I'll have to re-enter the information again and do the search. But if you click on these, it'll bring up the map setups that people have uploaded. Let's go to the web page. So if you click on the Art of Dying up here, or if you click on, I think these balance links, you can see my icon. My cursor turns into a clickable cursor. Let's just click on this, the title. It should take us to the ASL scenario archive opened up in a web page to that scenario. And of course, it opened it off screen. So let me drag it up. Yeah, there it is. So here is the full shebang including comments from people. So here's one of the maps here. Now, if this was working and I clicked on one of these or both, it should bring up this map board here. It should bring up this image or in one of those links, but it's currently not working. In the future, he'll probably get it working. But you can see, here's the location, here are the units, etc. So let me hit import, and what that'll do, it'll pull all this information in to this section here. So it's got the title now, the scenario number, the location, the theater, the date, the combatants, the units involved. It doesn't grab ELR and SAM because I don't think those are stored on the ASL scenario database. So I'm just going to enter something. I don't remember what they were. I'm just going to enter some numbers here like that. The rest of the things are pretty much the same, except it fills everything in for you. And if you want to get back to the scenario information, you can click the magnifying glass. The search icon turns now into a scenario detail. So if you click on that, it'll bring up the scenario details back for you again. Then you can just hit OK. If you hit unlink, it will clear out the information in the scenario block right here. Now, let me show you one more thing. Hopefully this is coming through. I'm using a new recording method, so hopefully my cursor is showing up better. Let me do a snippet of the combatants here and paste that into our VASSAL to see what it looks like now. So hit snippet, and go back to VASSAL and copy. This is the one it pretty much replaces. Let me clone it and paste the new info in. Oops, paste the new info in. And you can see the new, at least that section of it, the combatants and the ELR info now looks like this. It's a little bit bigger, and it shows the main units underneath each of the combatants. The SAN and ELR obviously are still showing, so that's a little bit different. The main usefulness of this update is linking to the ASL scenario database, which I find very cool. You can look at everything from right within VASL Templates now. Again, these image links do not work right now. By the time he rolls it out, I'm sure it will work at some point. So that is it for this update for this 15A lesson to update what he has changed. I wish I knew the gentleman's real name. I'm sure I could find it, but he's doing a great job. Update to this scenario block information in lesson 15A. Now my plan is very shortly to, for lesson 16, go over chapter H notes like I promised, and I will do that shortly. And then lesson 17, how to use VASL templates to analyze your VASL dice statistics. And that's a really good one that I'm going to enjoy showing to you guys. So until then, roll low just like this, and I'll see you later. 5, not bad.